right, sorry about that. I had somebody at the door, so we're going to go ahead and continue where I left off. Like I said, when we're looking at this, we're kind of like putting these two together, right? In this case, like I said, it is a quick merge. So we want this information and we want this information, right? And we want them all together, all in the same. So yeah, you're looking at more of like merging things together with like a full outer join if we were kind of looking at that. So they don't have to match. If you did an inner join or a left join, you would have some like data that was coming over from here or there, or you would just get the results from here, because if I have a 5, well, obviously 5 is not going to match here, so it's not going to bring that data over, right? So you'd want to do where they don't match. So if you think about that Venn diagram, right? So you want it on both sides. You want everything, right? So you want your cake and eat it too. So if we go back here, this to kind of merge that data, we can do data, right? Or a data frame, whatever you like to call it. A lot of times I just call it data, or data frame 1, data frame 2. So, you're tapping into Pandas, you're going to merge it, right? If I can spell today, merge, and then I am going to grab my data, and then I want this one, right? Or data frame 1, data frame 2. Then I want to know how I'm going to do it, like I was talking about before. We want an outer, right? And then we can go ahead and return that data. Oh, and it's not going to work because I don't have a comment there. That's awesome. And sweet. Too soon, too quick. Gotta get premium. All right, cool. And this kind of to show that point. If I did a left or something, I would do it on, right? And you would only get some data, right? But let's go ahead and wipe these out. I think we got several more. Let's go ahead and get these real quick. And now we are going to look at pivoting the data. I haven't done a lot of pivoting, honestly, in here, but, I could imagine you got pivots, and then I was playing around with it. You got melts too, which is the opposite scenario. So we're just going to take all this information, and we are going to now put month as your main column, right? And then your locations. And then your values, right? The way we're going to break out the values is based off of the temperature for those different locations by month, right? So when we think about that, we are going to return the weather. And then we're going to pivot it, right? So Panda's got a lot of cool functions where you can just type in this, and then you can pivot, right? And then from there, you can go ahead and say, okay, well, what are we pivoting, right? So we're pivoting on the index, right? And what is that index? Well, we're talking about that index is going to be our month, right? So you would take that month. And then from that month, we would go ahead and get our columns. Well, what are our next major columns? We were talking about it's going to be our cities, right? So column. It is going to be cities. And then remember I said our values are going to be equal to our temperature, right? And then you want to just make sure you get it that way. And then you could go ahead and run this, and this should pivot everything the way we need it run. And it does. Like I said, it goes ahead and it takes that down, and here's our months, here's our values, and then our columns are going to now be our cities. And then we can go ahead and submit that. ahead and later. And then let's look at melting that data. So that was one of the things I was talking about a second ago. If we melt that data, we are now going to take our products, right? Break them down by quarter. The quarter is going to be our new values, right? Our value variables, and then our sales data, right? So our sales data is just going to be part of that value name, right? So that we're going to go ahead and put all that stuff together on, right? So we'll just go ahead and do that the same exact method, and we will just go ahead and return that data. Why are you not letting me enter? Like, where are you going? Okay, that was weird. I guess my computer didn't like me today. All right, so we got to get into Pandas. We can melt. This is going to be our report. And then from there, we need our ID vars. And our ID vars is going to be equal to our products. Product, not products. And then we are going to need our value variable vars. And that's going to be equal to all these. Then we are now going to need our value name, right? And that is now going to be our sales column, right? And that should bring everything over. We are melting it down. We are basing it off of report. Our ID vars are now going to be our product to keep those down that way. Our quarters are going to be over there, and I am missing quarters, right? So we need to add the var name for what we just built out, right? And that is going to be quarters. And then we are going to need that value name of sales, right? So that will go ahead and give us the rest of what we need. We'll go ahead and run it and see if we have any errors. Oh, and they don't like that I've got quarter. An S. Well, that was an easy fix. Oh, now what is complaining about? Did I? Am I missing something? Oh. Evidently, I can't spell today. I was like, what? Order. And then run. All right. So, yeah, I was like, wait, those results match up. Like, what are you talking about? All right. And then we will go ahead and submit that. And we're good to go there. And we are off to reshaping. Yeah, we already did that, right? doing a chain method, right? So write a solution to list a name of animals strictly more than 100 kilograms. Return the animals sorted by weight in descending order. The result format into the following examples. All right, so looks like anything greater than 10, but then we also notice this is also an order, right? So all the animals' weights more than 10 in the result. Is 464. Jonathan's weight is 463. Tommy's. Okay, so we're also doing this in descending order. So we are going to want to sort this first. So return animals dot sort values. And then we're going to do it by weight, right? And then we are going to do descending as they were asking for. So then you could say descending is equal to false, right? And then from there, you're going to close that, right? So that's that chaining that method. The first thing is we're sorting it, so we need to sort it first, then we can go ahead and work on our the data that we need. So we only need the name, right? And then we need to also filter out for anything greater than 100 kilograms, right? So in this case, we're going to go in here. We're going to go back into animals now, right? So this is what they need. And then we're going to now look at the weight again. And the reason why we want to do it in this order is if you do this section first, right, and you filter out the weight, and then we're only looking at the name, well, you really can't sort a value based off of something that's not there, right? So then you look at that weight, and then, like I said, it's going to be greater than equal to 100, right? So that solves that. And then the last section is we just need the name. And so now we've sorted the values by weight. Ascending is false, right? So we're descending. We are specifically looking in animals for a weight greater than equal to 100. And I just need those names, right? I don't need to see their weights. I don't need to see anything. So when you go back in here on that third step, we were saying, just give me this column, right? And then we'll go ahead and run this. All right, and we see it's accepted, right? So that kind of sums up the rest of that badge. So the intro to Pandas. Now after this, we'll go ahead and work on some cool use cases. Like I said, sorry for the delay. If you like this video, if it's helpful, go ahead and like and subscribe, and we'll go ahead and get more of these up and running. Thank you.